yourself as a fearless individual.
Man, I'm scared of you.
Someone who could conquer everything, you know, man. Yes.
Dude might have a gun in his waist. I gotta watch out, you know.
No, man. No violence here. No violence here. It's just about the fearless attitude, the fearless spirit. You know what I mean? Not living in fear and being bold in what you have to do. So, Jamster, I'm looking through some of the articles here, and I'm just going to flash some articles, some news articles, because, you know, Win FM has some interesting stories in the local news. Some of the articles one of them is the parliamentary rep for Central Bastille addresses surge in criminal activity in constituency. We have the traffic lights at Bird Rock intersection to be commissioned shortly. We have Cleone Stapleton Simmons gives her side of the NRP impasse. We have the CSME, food security, health and more on the agenda for 44th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, regular meeting. And we have first responders on Nevis participating in emergency medical responder training. And so those are some of the highlights for the local news. And of course, there are some regional news as well. But Jamster, just when I came in, I realized that looking at the news here on Loop News, there seemed to have been another earthquake in the Caribbean. I don't know, it seems like the Caribbean is seeing a lot of seismic activity. So here it says a magnitude of 4.7 earthquake was recorded in the northeastern Caribbean this morning. The UAE Seismic Research Center said that the earthquake occurred about 5:17 a.m. and had a depth of 10 kilometers. And here, according to the automatic earthquake location from the UAE SRC, the quake struck 277 kilometers north of Bastille, St. Kitts and Nevis, 303 kilometers northwest of St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda, and 393 kilometers northeast of Puerto Rico. So, Jamster, did you feel anything this morning?
No, actually. What time was it, you said?
It was about 5:17 a.m.
5:17 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it had a magnitude of 4.7. And so, I mean, it seems like as though, it's not seem because it's happening. We are experiencing a lot of, seismic activity here within the Caribbean. And we just hope and pray that it doesn't get any worse, because...
Yes, actually, before when you said there had been another earthquake, I was assuming you meant like in Europe again.
Mm-hmm. That one left a lot of persons, the country devastated.
It's close to 50,000 dead now, and
that's
yes.
Just the other day it was about 22,000.
Yes, it went to 41, 44. So now it's around 50,000, and that's just who they know about.
Yeah,
and they're still hearing voices.
And when we think about 50,000 is a population of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Exactly.
Imagine that.
Exactly.
That's crazy. That's wow.
Yeah, and then it's winter, so that adds another layer of you know what, the phones are ringing off the hook for some reason. Let's
see what the callers are saying this morning, Jamster.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the feeling lucky thing and go to the phone lines. Okay, so at least we know the phones are working. So callers, you can call us if the phones were ringing while you were talking. So,
yeah, that's no problem.
And usually, from experience, that's usually some kind of sign.
Yes, a good sign.
Island T, caller, go right ahead.
Hey, good morning, Jamster.
Hey, what's up?
I just call concerning the bringing on of the new traffic lights at Bird Rock.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone see, or most people see what I'm saying, but I'm a frequent user of that same road. And it appears to me, since they have widened the corner on the left and also on the right and put the markings in the road, that section is more effective and efficient than lots of places in St. Kitts.
I feel the same way,
To
caller.
commission.
I feel the same way in terms of effectiveness.
Yes, to commission those traffic lights now, to me, doesn't make any sense. I think you should keep the switch off until if things change. But for right now, the coordination and the movement of vehicles in that location is excellent. So maybe I'm seeing something wrong. I don't know. I hope that something is not being pushed on the public to use that is not needed. Maybe needed then they wait in the corner before they put the markings in the road. But
Yeah, I see your point. It seems as though the caller, I don't know if he's having trouble with his phone line or something, but that was a great way. Now, callers, if you want to call in on, actually, we could open the phone. It's Friday. Let's open the phone lines.
Yeah, we can.
And the phones are ringing for some reason.
Yes.
So clearly there's stuff that they want to get
Yes.
off their chest. So
Okay.
you guys feel free to call. The only show we have this morning planned is Fireproof. That's at 9:30. So you can call us at any time. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hi, caller. Go right ahead.
Good morning, Jamster.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Gumbs.
Good
Journey
morning.
here.
Journey.
I want to talk about something I heard on your news this morning pertaining to what is going on in Turkey, NATO, and Sweden. Now, according to your news, the reporter said, and I'm just paraphrasing, Sweden can now go and join NATO. This is my take on all that is happening in Turkey. Bearing in mind that we know that those who are running the system, they have machine. I'm referring to the HARP machine, guys. The HARP machine that are capable of creating an earthquake. Now, the question I am asking myself, the earthquake in Turkey, was it a natural disaster? Or, if it's man-made? Because, in my opinion, I could interpret what is happening as knowing the role of NATO, they can be teaching Turkey a lesson. Now, that is for each one to interpret in their own viewing as they listen. I don't listen to CNN and BBC guys. I have my other African news platform and others. So, I just want to put that out there, that we so now have to look and know the capabilities of these people, because Turkey wasn't in support of Sweden joining NATO for whatever reason. But now we are seeing an earthquake, a devastating earthquake that hit Turkey. These people are capable of creating chaos and feed the public with their narrative and their agenda. We have to condemn it. We have to condemn them. We know what they are capable of. I mean, you listen to our leader, Mia Motley, spoke about flooding at when she was in Egypt. And she spoke about what was happening in, Pakistan or somewhere with these flooding. And she mentioned the same HARP machines. Guys, what is with us? Why can't we lend our voices together and condemn this wicked system that we so are aware of? And we know their capabilities, yet we remain silent. We remain silent. Gentlemen.
Okay. I see where you're going with this, but sometimes an earthquake is just an earthquake. I mean,
Dancer, we have had two earthquakes that hit Haiti 10 years apart. Haiti and Santo Domingo is one island. Haiti was devastated. Santo Domingo, nothing. No. Natural disaster, yes, will occur. But don't you think something suspicious here? 10 years apart, two earthquakes have struck Haiti. One island, but nothing of Santo Domingo. Come on, guys. Thank you for hearing me.
Okay.
Thank you for your contribution, caller.
I see where he's going with the call. Oh, and by the way, for the callers who are wondering what he meant by HARP, HARP is it's an experimental research facility in Alaska. It stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, and the conspiracy theorists tend to think that HARP is capable of generating and steering hurricanes. This is crazy stuff, and causing earthquakes. So that's just to give you some context. And he's also referring to the coincidence of, Turkey basically tying up Sweden and Finland from joining NATO, and now we have this earthquake. So he's saying that the U.S. government basically caused an earthquake to hit Turkey so that they could soften Turkey up and let them allow Sweden and Finland to join. So just to give you some context, I understand where he's coming, but man, that's I don't know. I don't know. I literally don't know. It could be. I don't know. Let's go back to the phone lines. Okay, let's go back to Okay, let's go to another caller. Hey, caller, go right ahead. Island
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing
We're
good.
well. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Watch your way to open up the lines there, by that dude, Journey.
Yes.
I'm telling
Man, I
you.
want to say hail up to him, man. But this guy's deep as hell, man. Sorry for the language. He's a deep individual, man. I mean, what he's saying there with the earthquake in Haiti is like, it's like Nevis getting hit by an earthquake and you don't feel the tremor in St. Kitts at all. That's a great point he brought up, man. Two earthquakes hit Haiti 10 years apart. The devastation in Haiti and no effects in Dominican Republic, which shares the border with Haiti. The guy's thinking really deep, man. But right now, for me, there's another gentleman there in St. Kitts, man, a Rastaman. Calandri, I think his name is. He was on the radio station the other day, man, dropping some serious knowledge about St. Kitts and Nevis' history, man. And, they got some persons there in St. Kitts and Nevis who's so knowledgeable, man. That man need to, get on their own platform. You know what I mean? But for me right now, the African experience is where I'm looking at, man. And I'm focusing right now on Ghana, the way how they got the Ghana economy, and all the persons in the diaspora in the Caribbean who's thinking about this Pan-Africanism stuff. They need to concentrate and look at what's going on in Ghana. Ghana being the first country on the continent that went independence, and yet the economy right now is devastated, man. Every day I get up, man, and I see the news from Ghana. It's so nerve-wracking to see how those politicians over there, who's in control, the way how they got the country. The latest thing that I've seen this morning, they have Chinese coming into Ghana. The Chinese government, they're going to be sending the prisoners to Ghana to mine gold. So what they do when they come to Ghana to mine the gold, they transfer the gold down into Togo, and then after the gold get down to Togo, they ship the gold over back to China. So these crazy things that's going on with the continent, bro, we need to pay attention to what's going on in Africa. Everybody is going into Africa except us. That's our country and that's our motherland, bro. That's our birthplace. That's our ancestral birth, connection, tradition, everything, man. We're not Kittitians and Antiguans, bro. We are Africans, bro. If you take a dog from St. Kitts and take it to England, he's still a dog when he gets to England. Continental Africa, before we can get all of this in place, they need unity in Africa, bro. Africa got to unite first in order for us to have this African, Pan-African movement happen. Not going to happen until Africans unite over there. And black people as a whole, we got to unite, bro. But different than that, man, I just want us to keep an eye on the crime situation in St. Kitts and Nevis. We got to start thinking about creating some jobs for the youths, because the youths, they're going to start go astray again. As we see, there's an uptick in the crime in St. Kitts and Nevis both, and the government and the people, even the local and not just the government, but as a community as a whole, man, we got to keep an eye out on that. And I've noticed some stuff that's going on in St. Kitts and Nevis because I visited there recently. And the word entitlement, bro, is killing the people in St. Kitts and Nevis. Everybody think they're entitled to this and entitled to that. And most of the youngsters, they don't want to work. And some of them, they want to get paid for jobs, and they're not coming to do the work. I have some experiences on a personal project that I got going on. You know what I mean? I paid people to do work. They don't show up and do the work, and they got money in the pocket. That type of mentality, bro, it creates chaos. You know what I'm saying? But you know when somebody do you wrong, what you feel like you want to do to them, right? And this is why there has been a lot of killings and shootings. So we have to pay attention to what's going on. The youngsters, they got some nasty attitude, bro. They got to change their mentality. But good luck to you guys, man. And that's my contribution for today.
And you have a great weekend.
Thank you for your contribution.
It's 8:31. We're going to take a quick break, and the phone lines are still open. We're just going to go take a quick break, make some money. Island Tea continues right after this.
Found the sound. 98.9 FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Want to win some prizes for you and your love? Well, this Valentine's you can in Pick 4's Spin for Love promotion with the Caribbean Lottery. Spend $15 or more on Pick 4 and place your non-winning tickets into the drop box provided for a chance to spin our love wheel all through February. Win sweet Valentine's prizes like dinners for two, free groceries, and more. Get your Pick 4 tickets today at any Caribbean Lottery retail agents island-wide. Must be ages 21 and over to play.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Back at you. How we do? History in the making.
Back at you. 8:33. Island Tea. Don't forget the phone lines are open. Me and the man AZ.
We're here.
He's in the big chair.
Yes.
Thankfully not wearing his lawyer hat right now. Well, let's go back to the phone lines.
Yes. We're encouraging callers. You have a caller?
Good morning, Azard.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
It's nice
But
seeing you
you
this morning.
Yeah, man, but you are gooder than me.
You still.
And just
Thank you for that.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. What's up?
Well, both of you are the goodest.
Thank you for that.
Now, one of the old saying, come to reenactment. Sad story I heard on BBC and the CNN that five persons who survived the earthquake up in Turkey.
Uh-huh.
They were removed into a new house and they get destroyed. Their life was destroyed by fire in that house. So the old saying is that you run from the zombie, you meet up the coffin, and you jump out of frying pan, you jump into the fire. That's a sad way for those people to end their life.
Yeah.
So that is my little thing for the day. But you guys sound good, man. You guys sound great.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks for educating us, the listeners, every day.
No problem. Thanks for calling in and thanks for listening.
Yes, man. Okay. Tell Daddy to say good morning.
We will.
Yes.
He's listening probably.
Okay, have a good day, man.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
you too.
Okay, so that was culture. Now, the phone lines are open, folks. So give us a call at 466-0989, 662 and 762-0989, and you can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. After all, it's Friday. It's Love Week. Let's go back to the phone lines. Island T, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Ambassador, and my good friend Azard.
Good morning.
And man culture. We are red form.
Yes.
We bring it. We bring the message. Your culture says so. The one from Jamaica, Joseph Hill. This morning, brothers,
Yes.
I want to congratulate the Spurs McKnight football team, Garden Hotspurs, for a job well done yesterday. Because we're going to tolerate no shooting through no school, you know. And I asking the Prime Minister to be firm and the Commissioner of Police. Because it's some charm down there with the old people. The children them was. So I want to congratulate all the organizers for venture, but that should have been town. We do own the school. And one thing I recognize from Pepe them, when sports guy anything, they don't let genuine McKnight people know nothing. They keep it to themselves. Remember, this is an organization that been sitting 100 years. And I can't move some real McKnight people, genuine McKnight people. Because there's a lot of them out there. And it wouldn't take us nothing to see something like that and fall in. I was talking, you know, I was so stunned when I hear they have a march around the school concerning that. Spread the information, man. This is what it's all about. We got to fight down this thing here. No gunman will not mean thinkers. You never saw the watch out. Simmons was. Ain't gonna go so. Here. You go so in other countries, not in thinkers. Have a good day, my brothers.
You have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so yeah, people are clearly upset about and if it's the same person I have in mind, yeah, it's pretty sad because I know her face.
Yes.
We greet each other when we pass. I remember going there for something. What was it? I don't remember what it was we went there for, and yeah, she's always at the gate.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sad, and I imagine she's being from the area. It's a big loss for everyone.
Yep.
And imagine the kids.
Imagine the persons living close by.
Because she you basically realize she bonds with the kids every day.
Yes.
When they come in and when they leave. Okay, let's go back to the phone line. Okay. Island T, go right ahead.
Good morning, youngster.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Azard.
Good morning.
Listening to you all, and you are sounding good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just want to put in my little input this morning because I don't get to listen all the time because I got to go mountain, go look at the animals, you know?
Yes.
So you're just calling out and listening to the program. And I believe that most of the callers, they have said it. What's going on in the Federation of Pinkett Nevis, I don't think that, we should have tolerated this. Nobody should have tolerated this thing. Politically, whatever, we ain't supposed to tolerate this thing going on, and jam down is right. And I believe more people from the community, them should come out when this thing happen. Show the young man them, they're going to stand up to them. Come out and protest. You understand? When this thing happen in the community, the whole of McNair should have come out and protest, old and young. Because only so we're going to get rid of the nonsense we're going on, because I don't see where they're fighting one another for, killing one another for. Look, I could see that out in the other part of the wall. That's what they're doing that for, because poverty. When I watch on the television and watching in some different countries, you could see what they're fighting one another for, you could see what they're killing one another for. Because how the country be food. They want help. These young men here, they got opportunity to do all kind of things, and some of them take advantage of it. They misuse it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Government come in, government go, the same thing. They get help. And I do not see that because of this brutalness murder as two women to their own people them. Man, something got to stop, something got to come, and the people them got to rise, the community them got to rise up I call in any people in the communities them when this thing happen, you all come out. Come out in numbers and show the young man them that you are going to tolerate this nonsense you all portraying in the country. All right, then I will continue to listen. Good program.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Okay, that's, yeah, okay. It's 8:40, Island Tea, and it's Friday, and clearly there's a lot on everyone's mind. So give us a call.
Yep.
If you want. I'm gonna have to insert a light moment here and there, because.
But before you do, Jam, so you know what today is celebrated as?
Today is, wait, let me. Oh God, I forgot. Wait, don't tell me. What is it again? What is it again? I forgot.
It's My Way Day.
My Way Day, yeah.
Yeah, so My Way Day is celebrated every February 17th.
And you know what's funny? I played a song by Bungie Garden called Friday, right? About 3 minutes to 8.
Yes.
And at the end of the song, he said, "It's Friday and my way." And I said, "That's interesting. Today's my way day."
Yes.
But then I had a blank out just now.
So it's a fun celebration urging us to live life authentically, unapologetically, and to play our own rules and to play by our own rules without fear.
Okay, let's do it my way for a sec. Hold that thought. The phone's going crazy.
Okay, your way, Jamster.
Okay, my way.
Yes.
Hey, go right ahead. Call us.
Yes, Jamster, this is Jamdong again.
Hey, what's up?
Jamster, I'm begging you to do something for me this morning. I want you to search culture albums. I can't remember which album this song is on. How you have a back with Jah when your dirty work is not right. Please play that this morning for me. Let her hear that. Let her hear that. Please play that before I leave the studio. Have a good day.
Okay, great. Okay, that was Jam Down doing his thing. Yeah, so you were talking about My Way Day.
Yes, so it's My Way Day. And so it's celebrated. It's your way. It's your day. Celebrate it how you want. Be yourself. Be fearless. Show the world you. And of course, you celebrate this day doing the things you want to do in a legally sound way. You know, you have to make sure.
Why do you always have to bring the lawyer stuff into everything?
So we have a celebration today, Jam Store. Is anything that you want to do today just your way?
My way. What? Because it's my way, no one else is gonna know. Just me.
Just you. Okay then.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Hey, caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, culture is here again.
Yes.
Yes, culture.
You know what leading these guys to do them negative foolishness? The devil. And the first thing they have the second thing they have after the devil is that I don't care what you do. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And you know the reason why? Because when they capture them, they go and they live a better life than they're living outside. There is no consequence for them to regret what they did. Otherwise, they would not do it. How they behaving so up in what you call it, Iran and Pakistan and them places, they ain't behaving like that. Because they know, even just to wear a piece of hat or cloth on the head and then they're not properly covered. They know the punishment for that. Which I don't think nobody's supposed to be killed just because of the way you dress. So therefore, if these guys here had to live in those countries, they would not have done what they did to the young lady and nobody else. And it's high time now that people grab the bull by the horn, like politics said, and jam down. Grab the bull by the horn and show them, listen, we ain't going to tolerate that. If you continue and you do this, we will have to do this to you. Because the person who you kill, they had a life from God, and they needed to live until the Lord know what to do with them. Not you come and kill them with a gun, and then you're going to live a better life. Don't have no bills to pay. Where you going to live? That's why they're doing this foolishness. There is absolutely no deterrent, none, but better life. It's so sad, man. Done with that, man. We don't want these things here. Culture, me group sing many songs. Quiet yourself, youth, man. Nobody with the war. Done with that. We want peace, love, and harmony in our country. And like Jam don't say, how you don't go face Jah after you don't do all these things. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Yes,
Thank you.
that he makes a great
Yes,
point.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in a weird way, it you know, in a weird way, the observance today. I could make a parallel between, I can let's call it quote unquote a conflation. I remember when we used to have those, we used to have those shootings everywhere, like indiscriminate shootings, and I used to think, I mean, these guys are so, what's the word? Inconsiderate. I mean, you'd have a shooting. Say, I remember one time there was like a grandmaster was just playing over Frigate Bay, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a shooting, and I'm like, some guy going after some guy, and you have hundreds of people over there. I'm like, and you're thinking about, so they're thinking about their way. They don't care about anybody else. So it's my way or the highway. This guy's gonna die today. This guy's gonna die
legally, Jam,
well, yeah, good point.
You see why you say legally. You know why you always have to keep it in the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, you may have heard the same thing, that the lady that got shot, it was basically collateral damage, because apparently the person was going after somebody else, and it was like a stray bullet type thing. That's what I was reading.
So many different
stories
emanating from that incident.
Yeah. So unconfirmed, of course, but this is what I heard, that they were trying to get after someone, and she was basically hit.
Yes.
Unconfirmed reports that she was hit by a stray bullet. So once again, people thinking about their way and not thinking about other people, and not thinking about the linkages and the consequences that their action can affect.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to, a school.
Yeah, and
really.
That's an individual, that's a person, that's someone's daughter, that's someone's sister, that's someone's aunt. It's so many connections, as you said.
Exactly.
That's someone's friend.
And people don't think, I don't think a lot of people spend a lot of time thinking about consequences and how everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. I keep telling people this all the time,
I was watching something, I think a documentary. I think it was a documentary, and it was about killings and murders and stuff like that. And it was when someone comes in, I think it was in relation to random shootings and stuff like that. And you think about the individual just getting up and shooting someone. And someone, I think it was one of those, I can't remember if it's a documentary, a movie, or something of that sort. But think about a situation where someone comes into a grocery store or a department store, and that person has a firearm, and they're shooting randomly. And one of the tips was, before, if that person looks at you, you just explain to the person that you, for example, you're a father of 5, you are a brother of 6, you are a police officer. You personalize the situation so that person sees that you are not just a statistic, but you are indeed an individual who has connection. So when you spoke about that played back in my mind. Can't remember where I saw that from, but yeah.
But the thing is, it's like some people are so far removed from the humanity that
that's what. So you're trying to bring them back in. So by that exactly. So because persons are so far removed from humanity and realizing that these persons are humans, by explaining that you bring back and hope that they see that it's a human being in front of them.
Because you're assuming that some of these people have empathy,
and that's the thing too. That's the thing.
Because most normal people, say they lose their temper, right?
Yes.
Or even some people in cold blood, and you maybe make an appeal like you just said, and they might blink and okay. But some of these people are sociopaths, psychopaths, who don't care about anything but themselves. Narcissists as well. Narcissism again, my way.
Yeah.
It's all part of the same, It's all part of the same problem.
Yes.
It's a pity we have to put this dark spin on my way there, right?
Yeah, but my way is to live authentically you, to give you the world your side of you, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully not in a bad way. Respectful of others.
I feel like we're just we just made the skies overcast, metaphorically speaking.
Well, they've been
You know?
overcast since this morning, Jamster. It's been raining.
Oh my
It's been
God.
raining.
Wow.
But
I feel like we need a light moment.
Yeah.
Seriously. 10 minutes until 9 o'clock. And
Okay.
Okay, so we need a light moment, right? So here's what we're gonna go with. Patti LaBelle, right?
Yes.
So Patti LaBelle was on. She was on Tyra Banks' show recently, and Tyra Banks had a chef on, and Patti LaBelle had had a cupcake. And,
Yes.
and she said, "Oh, the cupcake has paper in it." And okay. Basically, Patti LaBelle was a little miffed because after she appeared on Tyra Banks, she went on Jennifer Hudson's show, and she was like, I don't understand. I had this chef, and she's like, she thought that
Yes.
I was gonna eat the paper on the cupcake, and she's like, so you could tell she was a little miffed about it, but it's a little light moment. So let's hear that. And make sure I have two clips. The first one is on Tyra. And then the second one will be when she goes on Jennifer Hudson and talks about the incident. So here we go. Let's have a little fun. And by the way, folks, when you buy cupcakes, do not eat the paper.
There has paper on it.
Yeah, you can't eat the paper.
Nope.
Now these are
But
made
you can
with.
touch them with your hands.
That is true. 2 kinds of cake mix, and also one of the little secrets I use diet hot cocoa packets to make to really amp up the chocolate flavor.
Diet hot cocoa. What is Patty saying over there?
She is causing trouble.
Yeah, no, what makes you think I could eat the paper, boo?
Yes, you can eat the paper. No paper. Paper bad, cake good.
Okay, next.
You're the one that wanted to eat the paper.
I didn't want to eat the paper. What's wrong with that?
Okay, again, the frosting is made out of fat-free whipped cream, marshmallow cream, which is also a great ingredient, and fat-free cream cheese. Okay.
Must everything
Moving
be a
on.
contest?
Are you okay?
Girl, yeah, but I don't need paper. I just made sure my hands were clean, and when I said to the audience, this is paper, I meant that I'm not touching the actual cupcake, boo.
Oh, I see.
So what happened was when she said it has paper, what she was trying to tell the audience was that, well, because of COVID and all that, right? It's good that the cupcake has paper on it because before she eats it, she doesn't have to touch it. So now she's complaining. She's complaining the chef to Jennifer Hudson. Here we go.
And then there was the one with the cupcake. The girl thought I was going to eat the paper on the cupcake.
That? Y'all saw that?
Ooh, I wanted to slap that heifer so hard. She said, Miss LaBelle, don't eat the paper. I said, what's wrong with you, boo? I don't eat paper.
Jamster.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny.
Yes.
Because the chef, and you had to see it. It's even more funny because she actually thought that Patti LaBelle was gonna eat the cupcake with the paper. I mean, come on, this is Patti LaBelle. It's just sacrilegious.
But who eats cupcakes with paper?
Exactly. And why would you think Patti LaBelle is gonna eat? And she made a very good point. I mean, the point she was trying to make was a very good point. In the age of COVID, okay.
Yes.
It so happens that we have this nice little baked good that kind of makes it easier for us to keep our distance from COVID. If you're gonna eat it, you could probably eat most of it without touching it because of the paper cup.
I mean, we have a lot of callers into this morning to Jamster. So one thing that we could talk about, or we could send it out there for them to discuss. Brazil is having its carnival. Trinidad and Tobago is having its carnival.
Yeah.
Which carnival? Is both of them have been said to have great carnivals. So, which one is the best of the best?
I think that's I actually think that's a very reductionist question because, it's gonna call for a reductionist answer because I think it's a lot more nuanced than that, right? Because it's two cultures. One is a Latin culture. One is a
Caribbean.
Caribbean, and different languages. They approach things differently, and And you gotta say, folks, you can call at any time and talk about.
It's just
this.
an open topic.
Yeah, it's an open topic. We can talk about anything.
Share your views.
But that was one of the things we discussed last night that we were going to discuss. Discuss because Brazil Carnivals kicks off today, right? February 17th. Yeah. So that we thought that.
Your way, Jamster. Your way.
My way.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Brazil.
How?
I don't know.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But anyway, so I guess some people say we get a lot of the because in Latin cultures they're very free with their bodies and the skimpy clothing, the tight clothing, and a lot of people say a lot of that came from Brazil.
Yes.
And,
You mean
and then Trinidad spread it through.
Yes, yes. Oh, so you.
I mean, because women actually, people actually, they're in troops topless and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just part of the culture. I mean, nobody bats an eyelash for that stuff. But here we would be scandalized if someone decided to do that. But I don't think it's going to be long before that happens, and we might not bat an eyelash because I see stuff going on during Carnival that no one bats an eyelash at.
Yes.
So
it's that moment persons take to be free.
So folks, which Carnival do you think is best? I'll go with it. I think it's a lot more nuanced than that, but you can call us and tell us whose Carnival you think is best. But also the other thing that came up, I noticed in the chat, was that how many people here have been to Brazil for Carnival, you know?
That's true.
We just see it on TV. But also how many people have been to Trinidad. But then you have to figure the numbers for Trinidad would be a lot higher than Brazil, right?
Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's the Caribbean, and it's.
Oh, you mean people traveling to Trinidad?
And cultural proximity is a lot is much better with Trinidad. I mean, because a lot of the things that we do as part of our Carnival basically came from Trinidad.
Yeah.
Whereas in Brazil, it's a little different in the sense that they have the samba schools. I mean, like in our milieu, they call them the mass camps. Where they do troops every year. In Brazil, they call them samba schools.
Yeah.
So, it's.
You seem well versed, Jamster.
Well, I mean, I had to study all that stuff. But then I mean, listen. When you're intellectually curious, and you see something and you think it intrigues you, you want to find out more. You go and find out more, right?
Yes.
It's really very simple. Google is your friend. Wikipedia is your friend.
You know, I wish that in school, while I was a student, I had access to Google and Wikipedia.
Yeah, I know.
Wikipedia does help out well.
We did have Google when I was in college.
It wasn't the same. Well,
yeah, there was Google. And I already
your college days and my high school days, I'm sure, were two different times.
Yeah, 2 different times.
Yeah.
True.
So
you didn't have an encountered CD-ROM? Come on. That's a good one, right? That's a good one, right? Admit it, that's a good one.
Remember when you had to buy all of these encyclopedia?
I know.
These books. And they were expensive. And it's like you had to have this whole case of books.
Hey, caller, go right ahead. Hold that thought. Hey, caller, go right ahead.
Hey, John, morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Azard.
Okay.
Yes.
The Carnival. Would you say, do you think, how did Brazil Carnival came about as opposed to Trinidad Carnival?
Well, Carnival as a thing is a French. It's a French thing. It's a French tradition, and the Brazil Carnival came about via Portugal, and the Latin countries are France, Portugal, Spain. So, those countries are all adjoining each other, so they share a lot of cultural tropes, you could say. So yeah, Carnival, the whole Carnival thing, it's a pre-Lent thing. It's a Catholic thing that's all about getting this stuff out of your head. Let me use
Here I'm seeing meant to celebrate the beginning of Catholic Lent.
Yes, exactly.
It's perhaps the most well known for being an incredible spectacle of samba dancing, live music in the streets.
Oh, you're talking
world class
about
parades,
okay.
Beautiful colors and vibrant rivalry. So it seems as though, as you were saying, is the
it's a pre-Lenten thing, and then Ash Wednesday is when Lent. So, caller, you were saying?
And so the variations within the time sequence, because, well, in order not to take from, we have seen where, for instance, other islands within the Caribbean would have celebrated it on a different day, different time, different
Yes.
month of the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then how that morph, how that coincides, how that interplay into the Juve aspect, where you're saying the French, I agree, where Juve, the wee hours of the morning, when we, prior to 1834 rather, or 1838, depending on which colony, we were forced to still cut the sugar cane. And then, like in Trinidad, for instance, where after getting that privilege to celebrate, we celebrated it in a backyard in a small group, and then we have gotten it after 1834 or 1838, depending on which date, it morphed into. So yes, the French aspect of it with the colorful costumes and the colors and so forth, yes. But we now got to celebrate, whereas the aristocrats, those in the upper echelons, the oligarchs of those days, was always doing it in the French Catholic style, as opposed to us now who did not have that privilege to do it. And here is it. But it would be interesting to get a perspective from the Brazilian end, because we know from Trinidad on up to these islands, that is how it originated and it morphed into what we celebrate today. But it would be interesting to get a perspective of the culture down in Brazil, predominantly Yoruba, but different ethnic groups that came over with their own way of celebrating,
Yes.
and how it morphed into candomblé.
And then it basically combined with the colonial elements, like the Latin elements, and there you have Brazil Carnival. No, in our milieu in the Caribbean, this is just my theory, but it seems like common sense. It wouldn't have made sense for everyone to have Carnival, even though it started off as a pre-Lenten kind of bacchanalian cathartic type thing, right? Mm-hmm. Before you go into Lent and so on, with the ash on your forehead and all that stuff. I think logistically, what probably happened is that a lot of islands realize, well, we can't all have we can't all have Carnival in February. So then, over the years, then you'd see different islands moving their Carnival to different points of the year. So the same spirit, the same Carnival spirit, but obviously it wouldn't have made sense to have all the Carnivals at the same time. Right?
I agree on this, because, there are good practices that one would have had and one would extrapolate from by visiting Trinidad or visiting Barbados proper or visiting Antigua and so forth. So over the years, you will see other carnival develop, because we have had troops or we have had costumes from Trinidad and Tobago. We have borrowed from those other islands because there's some commonality. There's a common thread that runs throughout all these islands.
And you do realize too that one of the things that a lot of the islands capitalized on is tying their carnivals to the Emancipation Day celebration. Like Barbados and Barbados, I think was
in Nevis.
And Barbados was particularly clever in that it's around the same period, but they do it at the end of their crop. Because Barbados was a big sugar producer.
Also, because that too, the crop over, and we're going back to Trinidad, where we were forced to in Trinidad they were forced to cut the cane, the burn cane. I guess it was a resistance, a means of advocating and agitating for emancipation, where maybe the fires was deliberately lit.
Yeah.
Or not, but the plantation plutocracy forced
that's true.
people to cut the cane.
A lot of it has to do with, the you could say the interaction between the plantocracy and the slaves, and maybe later on the newly freed. I mean, like for example, AZ.
Yeah.
People tell me that in St. Kitts, they used to have old time Christmas, and a lot of it was, and the same thing in Trinidad. It's just at a different time of the year. The slaves would dress up, try to dress up like the city, the planters and their friends dress up, and they were basically poking fun at them. But the plantocracy didn't realize. They just started. So it's weird. It's like on the plantocracy side, there was a certain amount of contempt for the workers and the slaves, and the same thing was going on because they would make fun of them, and a lot of that became part of the carnival, the masquerades, and so the way they dress and they dress up, and I mean even like here, where the nigger business stuff and the
so interesting, Jamso.
Yeah,
and this is something that Abernathy from Nevis, he the cultural icon, he have brought to the fore, and it is good. And persons like Zach Nisbet and those guys, they have a lot, to teach our younger folks that have no idea. Because back in the Christmas days, we had a few folklore troops. For instance, the clowns. Amongst the clowns, you used to have what you call the Japanese girls with the little umbrellas and the colorful costumes and so
the
forth.
geisha
right?
girls, yeah.
But back to that era, what we're talking about. Of mimicking those people in the upper echelon, the plantation owners. How they will always dress up. We did not have the wherewithal to buy these, the fabric to do so, but such as what we had, we still did it. So the clown troupe with the Japanese girls, a few ladies from the Newtown area used to partake in it, and so I remember that vividly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the crux of the question. What is your uneducated opinion about Brazil and Trinidad Carnival? Which one is better? You can give an uneducated opinion.
I think it's a borrow from both. One will conclude that it was borrowed heavily more so from Brazil, but I don't know which one emanated first, started first, but both borrowed from, because we all had the common thread that ran between us. Like I spoke about the Yoruba, they're heavily populated, because Brazil is the most populated country outside of Africa, outside of the continent, which is Nigeria.
By here. In fact, the Guinness World Book of Records.
And you will see it. You will see the nuances in those cultures.
Yes.
Within Brazil.
Yeah. For real. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Nice Wayne from the corner.
Jamster, the Guinness Book of Records, based on this article that I'm seeing, has Brazil as the biggest carnival in the world. So
I figured.
Brazil beats Trinidad when it comes to the size. So
absolutely. Yeah, I mean Brazil is almost 200 million people. So I mean,
and Trinidad Carnival is from February 15th to February 22nd. It's here.
That's this year, because the date, because of Lent,
the Lent, it would change.
It change every year. I always wonder why that is. That doesn't really. I never understood that. How it seems to, like Easter, because Lent is tied to Easter, and Easter is different every year. It's kind of weird like that. I wish someone needs to explain to me how that works. Why it's different,
Yes.
Yeah, kind of interesting. So 908. There was some. I was checking out. You remember that thing I sent you with the Nigerian talk show? The girls were talking about,
Oh, I never got to get.
You never got the thing,
to open it, but you could play it.
I spoke to Sharon. If we can get Sharon,
Yeah.
Shari and Lana, come down here for a bit.
I think we should let the audience hear.
Yeah, and let them win.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna set it up with some of the comments, because it was the first comment is what drew it to my attention on Twitter. I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then okay, so let me go to Twitter and take a look at it. Okay, so here it's here. Man, it's getting a lot of traction. Wow. They actually, it's funny. They actually changed the caption, but it seems as though it's generating a lot of buzz. So okay, where is it? Okay, so these Nigerian girls, they're on a talk show, and they're talking about they're talking about men with means and the kind of women they're entitled to, the kind of women are the kind of men women are attracted to, and stuff like that. And a lot of the comments A lot of the comments were what made me intrigued and decided I wanted to add it to the discussion. So, callers, give this a listen, and then you can call in. I'm hoping to get Shari and Lana to join us for a few minutes. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah. You have met you're the prayer warrior, you're from the good home, you cook, you clean, you are meeting his needs. Why can't you as a human being, why can't you have needs too? Yeah, whether the needs are materialistic or emotional, why can't you have needs?
I see what you're saying. You can't bill him, but he can ask you to open your legs whenever he wants to. Another angle. Open your legs. But but it's true. So, because I feel like if you don't,
you know, as you said that thing now, you will now say that why have we Gen Z, women of today, why are we putting a price on our vaginas? Like,
animals put prices on. I hate that topic. Like, animals put prices on their vaginas, like goats, cows. But like, you don't just see them mate with every. Like, there's. I went to a safari and I saw like antelopes, right? Wait, no. But like I was observing. I observed my environment. Antelopes, like they were separate, and then the dominant one, the dominant antelope had all the females, and then the other ones were on another section. They called them the guy teaching us around. Yeah, he said that they are called bachelors, something like that. And the thing just made me think. I'm like, in reality, the men that actually have more to give should be the ones to like pass on their genes. It's not. Because honestly, you're not offering anything. You're not helping.
And
what are you going to give the children? What are the children going to eat?
That's why I said it's all right to have needs. If your needs are emotional, if your needs are material.
Forget about me. I'll be good. Like, I'm good. What are my kids going to eat? Because I don't want to be dealing with the stress of providing for my children alongside being your wife. I mean, I'd rather just be alone,
right?
And have a cat.
Right.
It's not a do or die affair.
Back to that whole billing thing, right? If you're bloating about not billing him, somebody outside is billing him.
Period.
Whether I like it or not. Because let me tell you,
subject just gives me so much anxiety because I feel like people just love to listen to us talk about things like this.
I feel like
and say that we're putting prices on our bodies.
No, one of the problems I have with their approach is women who have something to offer, men who have something to offer. Define something to offer, because you get the impression that it just means money. And then the women, the men are looking for one thing and the women are looking for another.
Yes.
Let me read a few of the comments just to kind of give you an idea of what some people thought about this exchange. This is a very popular thread on Twitter, by the way. It's gotten even bigger since I got the audio. Here's what this person says. Hard work pays. Vaginas have suffered. Some of you ladies don't have anything else to offer apart from sex, and no apologies for calling you prostitutes. This video is irritating. Wow. And then someone else said, Nedu, that's one of the girls, never said anything wrong. He even added his own stats based off of his own experience. But what do you think
about the whole video?
Yeah.
About the price of the price of intercourse.
Okay, let's see another comment. Some men always. Here's another comment. The comments are really interesting, actually. What happened was yesterday when I saw it.
Yes.
The first thread of comments were. In fact, the comment that drew to my attention. That's the one I'm looking for it, but it's exploded so much that I can't even find the original comment, because that was the thing that reeled me in at first. But here's a comment. Some men always have the mindset that most women can be used anyhow, provided you have money to buy it. And they were also saying that men who have means, they're going to be tempted by a lot of women because they have means and maybe they're attractive. And some people are making the case that, well, if men have means and they're having all these women throwing themselves at them, they should be able to have those women. And you get the impression that some women in Nigeria are cool with that, and they think that, well, okay, he's mine, but I also understand that other women want him, and maybe I should just suck it up and deal with it. But at least he's my husband, Let's take this call. Hear what this caller has to say. Caller, go right ahead.
Jamster and Azard, Journey here again, quickly.
Hey,
I did mention to you guys, I think it was last week, about 4-episode clip that is now showing on Netflix. It's called Ninja. That's a series produced by Jada Smith. And, it starts showing on Netflix as of the 15th. So, I look at it last night and it is profound. It speaks about how we become to be converted into Christianity, taken away from our culture. And this Queen Ninga, she met with the Portuguese who were enslaving her people. Now, just quickly, Jamster, there was a time when the Queen went to meet the governor of Portugal. And in his home, they didn't offer her a chair to sit in. And by the raise of her finger, one of her maids knelt before her and she sat on the maid's back. Now, that power that stood out from a female queen in front of the governor, it gave him a fist, like a fist shot him in his face to see such power that they didn't offer her a chair. Royalty, they didn't offer royalty, the queen, a chair to sit in. And she just raised her finger and one of her maids kneeled before her and she sat on the maid's back. And that same courtesy was reversed the other way around when a different governor came to visit the queen at her kingdom. One of the queen maid went to offer a stool and she raised the finger and said, no stool, let them stand up. I'm encouraging you guys, take a look at this. Just go to Netflix and just type in Ninja. That's Ninja. It is a beautiful movie. If you look at this, Jamster, you cannot but just feel what is happening at that time. So I'm encouraging our people, all who have Netflix, just check out this 4-episode clip. It is.
Okay.
I mean, guys, I am so deep in it, right? That I want our people to feel it because I felt it when I looked at it. Thank you, guys.
Okay, great. So yeah. Okay, so we finally have Shari, and we're gonna have a quick discussion on that Nigeria thing we spoke about, and a couple other things that we're gonna try and squeeze in before Fireproof. That happens at 9:30. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like, have you ever heard of Kevin Samuels? Azard?
I think I've heard about the name before.
Okay.
He's in. Well, I don't want to assume.
Well, he died, but he was. I don't know what to call him. Let's say a battle of the sexes crusader kind of. He had a shtick going on there, which a lot of guys agreed with. So Sharon, comments on I know you listened to the clip, so comments on that. You didn't?
Which clip are we referring to?
the Nigerians.
Okay, so first of all, they were very opinionated and they were very loud. Secondly, listen, I don't subscribe to that thinking. I think that's a Gen Z frame of mind. What they're saying, though, in terms of not entertaining anybody unless they have certain things in order to then provide children. I'm like, you're assuming that you will be one of those persons actually giving birth to these people's children. But they were talking about the men need to have this, right? Do you, as the individual female, have this, and this? Because I'm pretty sure he's not looking for somebody below him either. And I don't want to use that word below, but he's looking for somebody on the same level as him. So if you don't have that, why do you think you're going to be chosen for him to actually have a family with? I mean, yeah, how that work out? Yes. If he is driving, what's a bus car? I don't want to go Maybach because Maybach is like way up there, right? If he's driving a Mercedes or an Audi, right? You driving a Toyota, you think he can be watching you twice? Do you have what he needs as well?
I guess.
Jesus. So, those are the kinds of things that when they say the men need to have this, and this, and I'm like, if you don't have those things, then you kind of disqualify yourself.
I guess because in their minds, all they need to do is provide one thing.
But one of the things I was saying was, I was asking AZ is, how do they define something to offer? How do you think they define it?
Materialistic.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
It's completely materialistic.
Yeah.
But somebody in the comments, and I loved the comments. Let me see if I could find it, because I actually took a screenshot of it, and he like nailed it on the head. And I'm like, see, this is coming from a man. That's a whole lot. I guess that's something she didn't think of either. But yeah, since I'm providing all these things that will make you submissive to me, then you shouldn't have any problem with me having more than one wife.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. So what do you think about that whole thing, though? Because you get the impression, as problematic as these ladies' outlook is about how relationships are supposed to work, you get the impression, like I was telling AZ, some of them think that it's okay for a man with means to have more than one woman as long as they're the number one, as long as they're getting what they want. What do you think about that?
So what is number one exactly? Because
meaning you're married.
No. The reason why I say that, how are you winning at being number one?
Okay.
In those kinds of situations, right? How are you winning at being number one? Oh, I have the ring, and so therefore, and like.
And because he has all his money, it justifies him not being faithful. You know,
that's another thing too, because they're also assuming that the materialistic stuff that they're going after, that the man will even be faithful to them alone. That's a whole other story.
Exactly.
So if he has money and he cute, let's just put those two together, right? Because we all know the cute guys anyway still get all the girls that they want. So if you put two things together, cute and money, you expect him to stay with you alone? You don't think there are other women out there that he'll be like, well, if I could get this girl, I could get this girl.
Let me ask you a question. And AZ, I want your opinion on this too. You think that women should be a little more empathetic of a man who maybe he's attractive and he has money and she's with him and he has she sees all these gorgeous women that throw themselves at him and maybe he caves 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Are you kidding me? Did you say empathetic?
I mean, in the sense of you see cute guys. You're married to a guy, but you see cute guys that you like, and intellectually you get that. Hey, that guy is cute. I'm married, and I'm not gonna cross that.
Right, because I'm like, just because I think you're cute don't mean nothing, right? I mean, if I'm married or in a relationship, then no. I mean, yeah, you look good, woohoo! But that's about the extent of it.
And men are wired differently, right? So,
y'all keep telling us. Continue.
And then there's this one word in the Bible. There's this one teaching in the Bible about forgiveness. I mean, I'm just saying, no.
I think Johnson is just being devil's advocate.
Yeah, I am. So, I mean, shouldn't the marriage vows talk about through thick and thin and so on and so on? We understand adultery is a sin and blah blah blah. But
without
fornication
even
is a sin. But
shouldn't
is it okay if the woman she understands? Okay.
Well, will the man understand if a woman steps out? That's all I'll ask you. Will the man understand when the woman steps out?
Well,
I'll leave it right there. Because we all know men's egos are not going to even entertain the thought of his woman going with somebody else.
It's because it's different.
Listen, I
understand. No, I'm not saying it's different because I agree with you, but men are wired differently, and
men are wired differently.
Mm-hmm.
So if a woman does the same thing,
but I think a part of the problem is that too many women conflate gender equity with acting like men. You see what I'm saying? No. Because meaning what I'm saying. It's like what I'm saying. It's like two can play that game. Oh well, if you cheat, I can cheat too.
This is the thing.
The genders are equal, but they're different.
Listen, I don't understand how you could hold one to one standard and the other one isn't held to a standard. If you pick this person, you said you get married to this person. You went in front of a preacher at an altar in front of all your friends and family and said, "This is a woman that I choose."
Mm-hmm.
Right? You do all of that.
Yeah.
But for some reason or the other, in the back of your head, well, you know what? I could still step out and do what I want. Right?
No, I'm not saying. No, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying I know it's wrong, but I'm saying
y'all are wired differently.
And
the man, the woman should then forgive every single time that the man decides to step out.
I didn't say that, but I'm saying
you said 2, 3. That's what you said, and we should be empathetic.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
We should be empathetic to the point that you guys just don't know how to control yourself. So you'll go there, have fun, come back. We'll forgive you for the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th time.
Let's hear what this caller has to say. Caller, go right ahead. caller, go right ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yes, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, I agree with your female caller there. Let us not go down that road of bringing an imbalance, right? Because what I'm saying, if you have a woman, you talk about a man looking cute, having money. But on the other hand, you have a beautiful woman. Physically, she has it down pat. She doesn't have to have money. She's going to have a lot of men going after her. What I want you all to understand, just like how men are raised to believe that society expects and accept them having multiple partners, and it is all right, because they say, well, oh, his desire and he has to release. I want you all to understand that there are women who have very high sex drive.
Mm-hmm.
And that husband or that partner may not be enough to satisfy her, but she is expected, and in a lot of cases, the women contain herself because she looks at it to say, well, all right, I am in a relationship with this partner. I am not going to do this to him. I don't want it for me. I am not going to do it to him. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the times women clamp down their feelings, right? We're not really having much of that today now because, I mean, women now, they say they become independent, they have money, they're working for themselves and whatsoever and so on, right? That is why you see there's some women who do not want to be committed because they know, listen, if I'm in this relationship, regardless, I am committed myself. So the man expects her to commit to him alone. Well, why can't the man look at it and say, well, let me commit to her alone? What makes the man think, well, okay, she should be for me and I should be for everybody else? Why shouldn't she say, well, okay, she can be for everybody else too? What is the difference? Why he doesn't want anybody to have his woman, but he feels that it is necessary, if he does it, that he can have every other woman? What is the difference? This ain't nothing about no man why you thing, Give us the true reason, you hear? Because women have a high sex drive and she can hold herself down because, as they say, she's the weaker vessel. They say she's the weaker vessel. So if the man is stronger of the two, why can't he hold himself down even, harder for his woman and say, listen, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, and so on. I know there's some men who do it, but there's some men who tell themselves, well, oh, this is me and this is man's thing and whatsoever. Remember, women have strong or high sex drive also. Or you don't push the bucket. Otherwise, everything going to topple over.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Carlo. Thank you for your input.
Yeah, that was a good way in. Like I said, like AZ said, I'm just being devil's advocate. But the fact is, it's politically incorrect to say, but men and women are wired differently. The end. Sorry, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, because why would we?
So how about this? How about this? Just don't get married, live your life.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm
not saying that.
He's gonna have it his way, Sharon.
No.
His way or no way, period. But what
He's gonna have it his way.
Right? If y'all are wired so differently, don't watch one female and say, I want you, when clearly you want 20 because you're wired differently.
No. I understand that monogamy is the ideal and all that. I'm just, in fact, Sharon, I've said this to you before.
I
Sharon,
believe people should be honest with themselves. If they're going into a monogamous relationship, stay within a monogamous relationship.
I agree.
If you want to go into a relationship that is open, go into one that is open.
Nonsense, the nonsense will
Sharon,
continue.
I've told you this before. I always say that I have this theory that God came up with the concept of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to make men commit and make men tame their urges and become committed.
You know what God want now.
No, I said it's a theory. I'm not saying it's
his
holy
theory.
writ.
His theory.
I'm remembering
because
that
it's
with the
different.
Jamaican when he building the ark and every minute he getting struck with lightning. I'm like, should I move away a little bit more to my left so just in case a lightning struck?
It's 9:30. Let's take this call. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, guys, I'm here again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sharon, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, just heard you said that a man. Let me see. I don't remember the direct words you used, but this is what it meant. That a man tell his well, he could go here and there and everywhere, even though he has a woman or a wife. But the woman now, she will more keep her place and stay put. But have you ever seen a man give a woman a wrong child? A woman give a man a wrong child.
So you've gone into a completely different realm, and this is the thing.
Listen this. The woman only can give a man, she boyfriend or husband, a wrong child because she went somewhere else. That is the point.
And I understand what
so
you're saying.
So the man alone does go here and there and everywhere. The woman does it too.
I didn't say women don't. I've never said that. I asked Jamsto if he could, not him specifically, obviously, but if the man could step out, then the woman can too. All I'm saying is, if you as a female know you're stepping out, you get pregnant, you do not assign that child to any one of those men that you may have slept with. However, I'm just, no. When the child is born, you do a DNA test, and then you say, you are the father. I sound like Mara now. You are the father.
Yeah, but why she got to wait until the child born to say who he belongs to?
What do you
because
mean?
Because she knows she went spreading out.
Hello, if I know that I am doing stuff with two different guys, why am I going to...
Or 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah.
And that's completely up to her.
It works both ways.
I'm just saying, it's completely up to her. Why would I, as somebody who slept with 4 or 5 different people, as Jamson now, trying to, if I slept with 4 or 5 different people, why would I look at option number 1 and say, you're it?
Because she don't know when she get catch.
But that's the point. This is the point I'm trying to make. A DNA test. Now, you could do it when you're still pregnant, but I think that's a little tricky, and I'm not sure if you could do it in the region. But a DNA test, once that child is born, will definitively say, you are the father. And she might think it may have been option number 1. It could turn out to be option number 3.
Yeah,
that's
all come back
I'm
down
saying.
To this here.
That's
come back down to this.
Saying.
If both of them be honest to each other and don't go away, they wouldn't have to use no DNA.
Hallelujah.
Well, according to Jamsto, men are wired differently. So.
All right then. Thanks.
All right.
Yes, thank you so much.
Why is it these days it's wrong to say the
I
obvious?
think this is what I think. If you're in a relationship and you want to be in an open relationship, say you want to be in an open relationship.
This is the thing.
If you're going,
some people feel that if I am that way and I express it to my partner, then that person, I'm gonna lose that person.
9:33. Caller, go right ahead.
You should be very clear with your intentions.
Period.
Okay. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, greeting.
Hey, what's up?
I'm good. Everyone is good?
Yeah, we good.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to be part of the reasoning. We just want to remind St. Kitts Nevis that when women start to get bullets, start to get dead from gunmen, that first red flag, we know to make it be a second and a third. We know to make it be like it's the norm. We live in Jamaica for almost 30 years, and we see certain things that we don't even want to remember what we see. So, we want to say to the 68 and the 32 to take warning. The gunmen them who doing them things there, we should make sure that there is no more. We should make sure that there is no more.
And I'm not talking with the water in my mouth, you know. I'm very serious with what I'm saying. Yeah? I want you to take this very serious. When women start to get gunshot and dead, it's a serious sign that. Very serious sign. Blessed love.
Yeah, that's a great way. And with that, we're going to leave it there. We have the firemen coming up next. Fireproof starts next. We're going to get a word from our sponsors, Rams. And we have the firemen up with Fireproof. That's coming up next.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it. Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it.
You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. Anytime, whatever time. It's tea time. Whatever time. It's tea time. Snack on a delicious tea time biscuit anytime. It's tea time.
Buster! We run things, things are run we. Buster! Buster! Living color, do it differently. Buster! Buster! Large and in charge, like for the party. Buster! Buster! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste. Buster, bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Buster, live in full color.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
It's 9:36, and it's time for Fireproof. And we have got the fire officers. They're here getting ready for Fireproof. It's the 4th edition or the 4th episode of our fire safety program. Morning, guys. So once again, it's our 4th episode of Fireproof. Good morning, guys. What's up?
Good morning, Jamster. How are you?
I'm doing good. We had a live discussion before. So we're looking for another live discussion from you guys on fire safety and everything else.
Hope we could keep on fire.
Well, a blessed morning, pleasant morning. How are you guys doing?
Good morning, Azard. I'm fine, thanks.
So the topic for today, what's the topic for today? Could you tell the listening audience?
The topic for today is, why we, both myself and Mr. Williams, why we chose to become fire officers.
Okay.
Just a little insight on where that is concerned.
Yeah. That should be interesting, especially for persons out there who are listening and may be interested in becoming fire officers themselves.
Right. That's right.
So tell us, what drew you to this profession?
Well, I must say that I have always been intrigued by danger, so to speak. And before my life in fire, I used to work at the electricity department, where I ended up being one of the linesmen for the company, working on high tension wires, etc. So then my transition into the fire services was due to a good friend of mine. He heard that the fire and police was going to separate because, back in those days, before 99, they were together as one. And he heard that they were separating. Didn't have the interest in becoming a police officer. So he thought that, hey, that might interest me. And upon hearing that, they were separating, and so it piqued my interest.
Okay.
And I wanted to know more about what the fire entails. So I applied, and here I am, 23 years later.
So is it safe to say that you have no regrets?
I have no regrets at all. Okay. No regrets. I mean, the journey from start to now has been a tremendous one. And with the amount of opportunities that were dished out to me, I can't complain one bit.
So you basically said you have a daredevil streak in you. That's, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a neutral statement. You know?
I smile because anything related to danger, whether it be going off of a cliff, going off of a building, recovering someone who was deceased, anything of that nature, I am there. Okay. A fire cannot be too hot for me to enter. I always think that when it comes to saving a life, I am going to do as much as possible to ensure that a life is being saved.
So more like a daredevil in terms of a Superman, so to speak.
Superhero.
A superhero. What about you, Mel?
Yes, my story is somewhat opposite. I was never the daredevil type, evil Knievel like my good friend here.
Yes.
I was somewhat more reserved and kept to myself. But my journey started right out of school. Well, I went to CFBC and I left CFBC and came straight to fire department. What drove me was basically growing up, watching my mother and my father, have to work and maybe work 2 jobs. So I felt it was time for me to at least try and contribute to the household. So that is what drove me to join the fire services. Also, some of my school friends, 2 of them for sure, left and they joined the fire department, and we did music together. So everything was music, so we did everything together. So when they joined, I figured, okay, well, an opportunity is there, so I signed up as well, and I was one of the fortunate few to get through. And as I got there, like Mr. Martin, a lot of opportunities opened up, not because I was favored by anyone. It's just because, I applied myself. I worked. I always say that opportunity does not have any one person's name written on it. It's the persons who apply themselves and make themselves ready are the persons who get the opportunity. So I worked and I worked in the maintenance division because I was always a kind of hands-on person who likes to figure out how things work. And so I fell in love with mechanics. So I was there in the mechanic division for quite some time until eventually I became the head of the division at a very young age and very young in rank as well. And after that, it was just progressive from one rank to the next, from one opportunity to the next. And after a while, it became more than just wanting to have something to be able to contribute to the house. It became more of something fulfilling, because when you actually go out on a call and you see the joy that is left on the face of someone who you would have saved, or you might have saved their property, and to hear the remarks of how much they appreciate what you did and how they appreciate your response, and so it became more of a career, and then the people you work with became more like family. And so one thing led to the next, and we were afforded a lot of opportunities. I mean, me and Mr. Martin, we traveled to countries I'm certain that we would have never touched if we had not joined the fire department. I mean, we were in and out of Antigua, Barbados, Panama. He would have been to places that I didn't get to go. I would have visited places he didn't get to go. Japan, Ecuador. I didn't even know where Ecuador was until I got the opportunity to go there. We went to Mexico. Atlanta, Minnesota, in and out, just on constant training. We are both regional trainers for search and rescue, as we had been trained instructor it would have been after then. It is now BHA, the Bureau of Humanitarian, I think, Assistance or something like that. And so over the years, like I said, we were just exposed to a lot of training. So, and what we try to do is to bring up those under us with those same training that we would have received, and they might have not gotten the opportunity to travel overseas to experience that type of training, the cultural exchanges and so forth. And again, like I mentioned, but the most fulfilling part is being in a position to help people, because I always love helping people. I love to see people smiling. And so fire department, I think, was a very good avenue to be able to, fulfill some of the things that I like to do.
So I think it's safe to say that, listening to both of you, I think it's safe to say that you guys get a lot of fulfillment from your jobs. That it's not just a paycheck. It's actually something.
It's not just a paycheck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 9:46. It's fireproof, and we're going to come back. I want you guys to think about, tell us a little bit about some of the search and rescue non-fire stuff that you guys are trained to do. I was always kind of intrigued about that. So we're going to get a word from Rams and come back. Fireproof continues.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
And we're back with Fireproof, and I asked the firemen to weigh in on their search and rescue training and some of the things that they're trained to do, where fires may or may not be a part of the equation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so search and rescue, that is it's kind of a wide topic. Now, we have been trained in urban search and rescue. We have had a number of instances here in the Federation where we had to utilize that training. The Mount Lyamiga, for example, that is an area where a lot of tourists and sometimes local tends to traverse, and they end up getting lost. And not only getting lost, we have had instances where persons have gotten injured on those hikes. So we are often called in to go to rescue persons. We have had an instance where a gentleman, he damaged one of his leg, and we had to go up with baskets in order to get him out. It's a very physical task, because you're not walking on a level road. You're going through terrains, slopes. Sometimes, depending on the weather, the terrain is muddy, where you can be slipping and falling. So it's quite dangerous in that regard. So we are training parallel searches where we go and we have rescuers spread out, moving forward, doing their searchings for whatever item. If a person is missing, you're looking for clues as to how to locate this individual. Circular search pattern in the event where a building, a structure is unstable, and you cannot readily go into a structure until that structure is stable. There are ways and means where you can actually, if a victim is believed to be in that building, you can do certain things in order for you to try to locate that victim prior to the building being properly shored up, where you're able to go into.
Okay,
Yes.
that's very interesting stuff.
Okay, so as mentioned earlier, we would have most of our training in search and rescue were done overseas, between Antigua, Barbados, and Panama. And it was training that was offered by USAID, CDMA at the time, AFDO, which is now BHA, the Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance. And so they would have trained us not only we were trained in 2 areas of search and rescue: land, that deals with, the terrain that you spoke about, and urban search and rescue that deals with like building collapse, search and rescue in earthquake situations, tsunami situations. And so we received that type of training. And like I mentioned, we also moved up a notch, not just receive the training, but we were trained as trainers for the region. So what you find happening when there are training of this nature happening in this region, they would contact us and have us do the training instead of bringing persons from, all the way from the United States and so forth to do the training. And this training, while we have not really have much, in St. Kitts, we have not had much real life scenarios in urban search and rescue, but the land search and rescue side of it is very frequent.
Okay.
Especially when we have tourists venturing up to the mountains and getting lost or injured. But we have been trained in both aspects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fireproof people, it's if you have any calls for the firemen, you can give us a call. In the meantime, tell us a little bit about some of this stuff. I mean, I know this is a grisly part of the job. Some of the stuff involved in auto crashes and stuff that you guys have to deal with in terms of. I know the fire department is the one that runs the Jaws of Death. Is that
Jaws of Life?
Jaws of Life. Did I say Jaws of Death? Jaws of Life. Oh my God! Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Jaws of
He's having it his way today.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a kind of a grisly topic, but
the Jaws of Life, it's a very critical piece of equipment for fire and rescue services. When you arrive on a scene where you have a vehicle, maybe not mangled, but you have a door that cannot be opened, and a patient is inside of the vehicle needing urgent medical attention, you have to get that individual out. And one of the ways of getting that individual out is by using the jaws, not the jaws of death, but the jaws of life. All right?
My bad.
The jaws of life. Now, it works with, he has a cutter, he has a spreader, he has a hydraulic pump, and that allows you to the force that it exerts is tremendous for you to be able to cut through metal or pry open metals. You know that force, and Mr. Williams could go into the technical aspects of that because he is on the mechanical side of things. But like I say, it's a very critical tool for fire services in terms of rescuing.
Okay.
Yes, as it relates to some of the responses, normally we won't be the first contact. Normally in accident scenarios, the first contact would be either EMS or police, and then they would call fire department, depending on the severity of the accident. We have seen from minor scratches to some real severe injuries right up to death. And so working in the fire department is not just physically demanding, you have to be mentally strong as well. As there are some persons who just can't stand blood.
Speaking of which, there was a situation this week where a car caught fire. That was...
Yes, that was on Tuesday, I think.
Okay.
Wednesday.
What was that?
It was on Wednesday.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
It was on Wednesday. Well, I think it really resulted from maybe a malfunction somewhere. The young lady said that she was just driving normally and she realized that the vehicle was really sluggish. She thought it might have wanted fuel, so she went to the gas station to get some fuel. After leaving the gas station, she realized it was still, moving really sluggish. So she went back to Shadwell by a welding shop by a guy who had done some welding on the exhaust. So when she exited the vehicle just burst into flames.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's basically what happened in that scenario.
Do you think it was a situation where maybe she ran out of because I know sometimes the cars run out of coolant and it's been running for coolant, and then what you think it might have been? I'm just curious.
Normally, if all systems are working correctly, normally what happens if your vehicle begins to overheat, the engine shuts down. The heat sensors and temperature sensors and what's not send signals to the computer, and that would cause the vehicle to shut down before any critical damages are sustained to the engine. That didn't happen. The engine didn't shut down. So I don't think, because she said it's not overheating because she checks her vehicle all the time. So I don't think it was a situation where it overheated. It might have been another malfunction somewhere else.
Okay, we got 4 minutes left. You guys have carte blanche to talk about anything you want right up until 10 o'clock. No callers yet, so.
We would encourage persons to, think about joining the fire services. In the near future, we should have a few openings there, because we have stations that needs to be manned, etc. We are dire in need of manpower. We have spoken to the authorities that be to see if we can get those things rectified. So encourage persons to apply.
Yes, and I'm not going to stay here and paint a picture and make it seem like fire department is the most perfect place. I mean, here.
Okay, we have a caller.
Oh, we have a caller.
Hold that thought. Okay. Caller, go right ahead for Fireproof.
Yes, man, I'm here.
Go right ahead.
Fireman, have you all ever checked these gas stations to see if they have the proper thing or all the things that we use to out fire? For instance, I've noticed in some other countries, in some gas station, they have a bucket painted red and it marked fire in white. And that bucket is filled with sand, because fire can burn with gasoline and water. And if you throw water to try to out that, it will still burn because the gasoline is on top of the water and the fire follow the gasoline.
That is
but
true.
if you throw sand on it, it out one time. So here, have you all ever thought about that? And make sure that the gas station have that safety piece of gadget to out fire? I'll listen for your reply off the air.
Yeah, I have been to more than one gas station where I see that same red bucket, and if it's not a bucket, they might have a propane tank, a used propane tank cut off with sand inside of it. So I have seen that. I've also seen them have fire extinguishers at their stations, whether inside or outside. I know for sure I've seen that at Westside gas station. So I know they have. Well, I know that Westside has that mechanism in place, and I want to believe that the others would have that in place as well, because we would have done inspections at a few of these gas stations. If there's any gas station that does not have this in place, I would recommend that they get that in place. But that is part of our inspections. We go and check these places to make sure that they are complying.
Mm-hmm. Quite often we have had fire prevention lectures with persons from the fuel industry, whether it be persons in the gas stations or even the bulk stations. So they come to us, they request having some sort of prevention training where we teach them about fire safety, we teach them how to properly use the extinguishers, because sometimes persons they have an extinguisher at their establishment, but they have never gotten the opportunity to actually use one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we provide that service as well. So where you can come and actually get a feel as to having a live fire in front of you and you pulling the pin, you know.
I think that's important because
that's a very good point.
We have them everywhere in businesses, and to ask the persons in the office whether they know how to work them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole other matter.
That's another matter.
And I see WINNFM even have fire extinguishers, so which is good.
Yeah. Jam, so you know how to use one?
Yeah, I have one home in my kitchen.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, guys. I think we had a very fruitful discussion this morning. Very entertaining, very informative. I want to say thank you for coming on for the 4th edition, and I want to thank the listeners who listened in to this morning's program. I want to leave a message to persons as they go forth this weekend, regardless of what they're doing. Some persons are at carnival somewhere, are about to go. Some persons are even home. But I want to say, only a fool will lose tomorrow reaching back for yesterday. Only a fool will lose tomorrow reaching back for yesterday.
And as usual, I want to say the only fires we want for the next week are the fires of the passion of love.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. And the passion of love could be, through cooking as well, too. Yeah, cooking.
True.
Reaches the heart, you know.
True.
Right.
I wonder if he's sending a message to someone.
Well, hey, they say the way to a man's heart is through his belly, right?
His stomach.
There you go. Hey, great show.
Yes.
Great show. 2 minutes after 10 o'clock. That's Fireproof for this week. Pretty good show, I gotta say. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. So I look forward to another fire-free week and Fireproof next Friday.
We have a lot of fun with you guys as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Buildings damaged by an earthquake are WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is